The extent of the damage of the week's devastating floods is slowly becoming clearer as residents in northwest Sydney return to their homes. Kenny Heatley joins us now from Windsor. Kenny, you've been on a boat now for the last hour. What are you seeing out there?
Danica, we've travelled from Windsor up to where the SES are accessing Wilberforce and Freeman's Reach and ferrying people to and from those areas because that's the only way you can get in. They've also been ferrying supplies. It's a fairly significant operation. I'm in a fire and rescue boat at the moment, but there's also many SES boats and also the New South Wales Police and even interstate crews are working out. But as we've travelled downstream to those areas, we've had to look at some of the devastation which has now been revealed, or some of it has at least, as the major flood peaks drop to a moderate. That's what we're at the moment, and there's still a significant way to go. But you get a sense of exactly how high the river actually got to, but also just how much was underwater. We've seen entire caravan parks that have been completely submerged up to the roofs, to the point where you've had some caravans which are still bobbing in the river, and you can just see the amount of debris that is floating through here. I mean, that's a hay bale that is just floating downstream, and that's why we have to take it easy in this flood boat, just because we don't know what is underneath us right now. There could be fences or anything. And as you look at some of these properties that are lining the river, you can actually see on the front of the houses the level in which the water got to, and some of the measures that people took to try and protect their homes, such as putting up plastic tarps all the way up the front of the house. I'm not sure how effective it was to do that, and whether they were able to save some of their house by doing that, but that is some of the scenes that people are returning to now that river levels are dropping, and the SES are hoping to get into about 600 homes to help residents assess and ferry people to and from. But it's not just ferrying people back to their homes, it's getting the supplies in, medications and food, because some of these people have been without significant food supplies as well for a number of days here, and this is the only way. There are helicopters which are working as well, and there's been volunteers which have been helping out too. But actually travelling down the Hawkesbury River, Danica, you get a sense of just how much more the river has to fall, and the extent of the damage and the extent of the cleanup that is to go. And it must be absolutely heartbreaking for people to return to their homes and go through the debris and the damage that we are seeing on the riverbanks here at the Hawkesbury today.
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary, and a long road to recovery.